Good morning, all. Wall Street is coming off two straight record closes for S&P 500 and Nasdaq, with Oracle's big AI-driven surge and cooler than expected inflation data, which is driving optimism. Tech shares are leading global markets, but beneath the cheer, I think caution is creeping in. Futures are muted as traders eye key consumer price index or CPI release in another half an hour or so. And that's going to be very crucial for Fed cut hopes. Persistent bullishness versus fundamental weakness is what I am looking at on a constant basis. It's the theme of most of my videos of late. I hope that my bets are in the right place as a retail investor, but I think that markets love the idea of a just right slowdown, growth soft enough for the Fed to cut rates, but not sharp that it sparks recession fears. Recent CPI and PPI showed inflation is cooling for producers, strengthening expectations of an imminent rate cut. Yet cracks remain. Recent revisions show the US labor market is less robust than first reported, and job seekers face rising despair. Gold rally and treasury debt concerns continue to remain. Gold is near historic highs, trading about 3,600 an ounce, still up over 41% year on year. Despite a tiny dip today, this is a classic flight to safety as investors hedge against persistent uncertainty and fears of policy slippage. Meanwhile, the US Treasury continues to rely heavily on short-term debt to roll over trillions in long-term bonds, exposing the system to future yield shock and refinancing risk. And I think the economic data to watch today, of course, it's a no-brainer, is that the market is waiting for the CPI data release this morning around 8:30 a.m. If inflation stays cool, odds for a Fed rate cut later this month rise dramatically. Also, we should watch for jobless claims and retail sales data as further reality checks on the Goldilocks narrative. I think if I was to summarize everything, I would say that today the market looks bullish but fragile. Persistent record closes are impressive, but there is fragility underneath. Defensive assets like gold are being bid up. Labor market cracks keep surfacing, and Treasury's refinancing strategy leaves little margin for error. This rally can run, but a reversal could be swift if data or sentiment flips. So I'm thinking that we need to ride the trend and the momentum, at the same time be very careful to jump out at the slightest. It's like a deer in a forest, continuing to graze, but at the slightest rustling of leaves, the deer takes off. I think that's how we should be. My disclosure is that yesterday I bought a little bit of Amazon, and I bought a few more stocks which are fast moving, and I'm waiting for disposing them off at the slightest hint of trend change, because I think fundamentally everything is weak. On the top, the momentum is pushing us, and some good news here and there does happen. But I think we have come to an end of the good news drip, 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 and we need to see the brass tacks. So with that said, let's go on and have a look at our TradingView platform. So here we are in the TradingView platform, and I'm looking. Hey, good hot dog. Good morning. Thanks for joining. I'm looking at S&P 500 daily chart where each candle is a 1 day, and we are almost on the verge of breaking over this diagonal line of resistance today. The line of resistance was at 6,550. We are right now at 6,553.25. So we are expected to break through, and this diagonal line of resistance now becomes a diagonal line of support for the S&P 500 futures. And where is the resistance? Well, it can go all the way up to 6,766.00. We are charting new territory out here. And remember, the market sentiment is still bearish. And if you see, the volumes are slowly moderating to a lower level. So volumes are not as robust as they were before. So that's another thing that we have to keep in mind. Trends can change at a dime. MACD is just about bullish, and momentum is above average with room on the RSI. So it can really go up further. That's why we should be agile like deer, watching for the slightest cue to get off the track. Otherwise, we'll lose all the opportunities that we have with this bull run, extended bull run, as I would say. NASDAQ futures are up 0.29% at this point of time. Market sentiment continues to be bearish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI to cover up. So we could find a resistance at around 24,085, as I mentioned before. Daily, we are going up a little and a little and a little, and we are creeping towards this resistance, and the support continues to be 23,797.25. Dollar index has picked up a little bit, and there is some chatter that the Russian drone raid on Poland and that being shot down by NATO is the cause for this dollar strength appreciation. We'll see what happens, but fundamentally, I think the dollar is not strong enough. And there is also this talk in our comment section that US is too big to fail. But I think when you talk about too big to fail, that happens when there's a superior entity which is available to bail it out, and that entity thinks about it as too big to fail. But when you look at US as an economy itself, it may be too big to fail, but there is no guarantee that it will not fail. That is because the whole globe as such has got alternates. So gold is one of the alternates. And I will also like to point out to you the differential that is taking place. If you look at the US 5-year yield, it is picking up. But if you look at the Canadian 5-year yield, it's continuing to go down. So there is a peel off between the 5-year yields of Canada and the US. Likewise, there are other better economies whose 5-year bonds, 10-year bonds, and others will take a little bit of the slack. There are also other currencies which will take a little bit of the slack. And then now we have crypto as well. So all of them put together, the precious metals, commodities, other bonds, and those are the things that we'll find start picking up as US starts to go down. And also remember that if you look at US, around 380 to 420 million citizens, GDP is distributed among these people. So per capita income is quite high. And the per capita income is high because there is employment, which is paying higher. And also there is consumption, which is around 70% of the US GDP. So if the employment goes down, consumer goes down. If the number of people in the economy who are consuming goes down, like with deportations and visa restrictions and other things, then the size starts to shrink. And all the people who have been deported from here become part of GDP elsewhere. All the travel dollars that are not spent in the US get spent somewhere else. So those kind of things do happen. So in my humble opinion, I think too big to fail is not something we can say in a global context. If you guys have a different opinion, please put that in the comment section. But I think there are a lot of alternative assets which will absorb the shock of a US decline. And at this point of time, I'm not seeing much changing in the approach of either the US government, which is the White House, or the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve has a very difficult task. We have got a lot of crazy things happening on the side, and that is making it difficult for the Federal Reserve because we are getting towards a stagflationary situation. We have a comment from Hot Dog here saying, personally, I'll not be getting back into the Max 7. My attention shifted to second wave AI infrastructure like APLD, CRWV, and Tempest, all the things NVDA itself invests in. This is a good input, Hot Dog. I'll also check into these things, and maybe we'll have to include these things in our daily review. So yeah, second wave seems to be the way to go. Good idea. Thanks for the heads up. This will help me also in getting into some of the future positions. Now that said, let us look at the indices themselves. Let's keep it moving very fast. S&P 500 has broken out of this diagonal line of resistance that we had yesterday. So I'm going to mark that as a support, and the support today is going to be at 6,551.62. And then the sentiment in the market is still bearish. MACD is just on top of the signal line. Momentum has plenty of room, so anything can happen out here. NASDAQ is up 0.04% as of yesterday. So as you can see, small slivers of increment is taking place in the indices, creeping towards the resistance that we saw in the futures. And S&P 500 also, it's a small creep up every day. And out here, we still have our resistance, which is at 23,985. In the futures, we saw that we are at around 23,945 or something like that. So this will continue to be a resistance for today, and the support for today is going to be 23,622.35. VIX is going down 1.89%. I would have expected a little bit more volatility. But hey, we are retail investors. We are not institutional guys. We don't know as much about the market. But I would have thought that with so much of political uncertainty, the assassination of Charlie Kirk and Elon Musk saying that all the left are murderers and we should fight, all of those things are, tending towards a kind of civil war kind of a thing. It's pushing in that direction. And we have all the other aspect like militarization of various cities and other things going on. And on top of that, this tariff war, the Russian incursion into Polish territory, with drones, and Netanyahu expanding the war theater into Qatar and Yemen. So all of these things, I would have suspected the VIX should be going up. The market is absolutely bonkers right now, in my opinion. This is looking totally crazy to me. But I have to ride the momentum train because my shorts are getting slaughtered. So I have got onto it, and I'll be selling some of them in profits and keeping on doing a day trade kind of action. And of course, I'll be looking at APLD, CRW, Tempest, and other things just in order to make some money and reduce the shorts. But this VIX, I don't know. If you guys have any feedback, please put it in there. But I think that it would be stupid to just focus on fundamentals when market is telling you everything is bullish. So that's where I'm going. Gold, I think, has moderated a little bit because we said that we were going closer to the ceiling. We are still overbought on gold. So I don't worry too much about this. This is again a bull flag in the formation, ready to break out on the upside, marching towards the higher target of 3,889. That's the way I look at it, given all the geopolitical issues and all the risks that we are seeing. So I would take this opportunity to buy a little bit more of ZGLD and have it in stock. Next, we have QQQ, which signals that we are going to open positive. We're going to be up 0.32% at this point of time. And if I look at put call ratio, it is neutral to mildly bullish. That's the opinion I have about it. Now look at XLP. Okay, XLP continues to go down, and we'll say how come this is happening. But if you look at XLY, it is down much bigger, 1.18%. So XLP will also continue to go down a little bit. The froth will be taken off, but XLP will go down much faster. At the end of the day, if we buy XLP at the right time, I think we'll be able to ride through the downturn, and XLP will start appreciating, and we'll have a similar situation on the upside where the command will change from XLP to XLY when the market has gone to the bottom and already reached the peak and is ready to come down. So the transition will happen at a later date, which will be a mirror image of what we have out here. So that's the way I'm conceptualizing it. If you guys have any opinion on that, please do put it in the comment section. Now let's go on to look at our AI stocks. NVDA is up a healthy 0.63%. I still have NVIDIA on the portfolio, so that's riding up. Meta is up 0.38% in the pre-market action. Our MACD is ready to cross over to the bullish side. Momentum is still bearish, and I think the market sentiment is also bearish. The moment we go above average on the momentum, I think I'll be happy to notch this up as a bull flag and ready to break out on the upside. So right now the bearishness still exists because we have the stopping tail, which is still the main signal out there. That's a bearish signal. Now let's look at Google. Google is forming a kind of pattern out here, which I would consider to be a topping tail. But pre-market, we are up 0.14%. If we are able to break above this tail today, then it will be exactly like how we looked at it on the 5th of September. And we'll say that the negativeness is gone. The trend reversal is gone. So that's what I think with Google. Amazon is up 0.66%. Yesterday, I bought Amazon, a little bit of Amazon, and I think it's going to give me some returns today. We are diagonal line of resistance becomes a diagonal line of support, and our resistance is going to be somewhere around 241.67 for Amazon. The sentiment has become positive. Amazon has also come up with a strange looking robotaxi, and that's also jumped into the fray. So now, in light of all of that, if I look at Tesla with its robotaxi and Optimus Prime and all those enthusiasm, it's up 1.08%. Please tell me this is not a cult following out here, because earlier it was just Waymo and robotaxi. Now we have got Zoox also in place. I think that's what it's called. Amazon's strange looking robotaxi. So that's also come in. Overall, I'm thinking that Tesla is still overrated. My TSLQ still stands, even though I'm suffering a lot. But I think we got to see some change out here for Tesla. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is above average. So everything is screaming that the market is ignoring all of those red flags. Now, on top of it, if the geopolitics and the economics decide to crash, I think Tesla is too overvalued for that. And well, let's go to look at Apple. Apple is up 0.25%. Its new release seemed to be buy the rumor, sell the news kind of an event. We have had straight drops, and I will think that we should touch this support at 222.58 and then bounce. And I will be thinking of that bounce as a credible bounce. Otherwise, I think that it's not that credible. Let me do one more thing. Let me try to see if we can have some kind of line that crosses through. No, I don't think we can have that. Let us go here. This is one pivot point. This is another pivot point. This is another. Okay, so I would say that if we bounce off this support today, which is going to be at 225.86, then I think we may be looking at a resistance out here at 234.31. That would be a legitimate bounce. And this particular diagonal line of support has had multiple pivot points, multiple rejections and bounce backs. So I think this is a good line to depend on for Apple to bounce off. Next, we have Microsoft, which is up 0.38%, and we have support at 498.08. And we have some resistance at 514.06. Overall sentiment is bearish. MACD is bearish. Momentum is still below average. We are still in a bear channel, in my opinion. And the moment we break down below this line of support, our next support is going to be somewhere around 485.10. Tesla is up 1.07. We already spoken about this. Oracle is up 1.83%, a huge gap up. And guys, my wife works for Oracle, full disclosure. She's got a lot of stocks there. She is happy, but she can't sell those shares because then there'll be a huge tax liability. So she'll have to hold on to it. But yeah, she's a happy camper right now, a huge 30% increase. So we had a little bit of a celebration yesterday. So this is really good. But as always, we should watch out for giving up a little bit of the gains. Yeah, congratulations with the ShareTreck. Yeah. Thank you so much. We don't have any accomplishment in that. It just happened, and we are a lucky recipient of this bonanza. And also, we have Larry Ellison becoming the richest guy, pushing off Elon Musk from the top spot. And remember, in Tesla, Elon is going to get so much of salary that is going to make him a trillionaire. Now, if you look at most of the companies, when they want to increase the margin, they cut out the staffing costs, they let go of people, they optimize. So even from the point of view of CEO compensation, the kind of compensation Elon Musk has got is thousands of times more than any of the CEOs who have been paid very high. So that also should be a bearish for Tesla. But anyway, I digress. Let me come back to Oracle. So we had this long week. Now, this could end up being a topping tail unless we cross over 345.86. Let us hope that today we are able to do that. As you can see, the bearish sentiment of the market has overnight turned around and it's going to become bullish. And also a huge volume came in to support this. And we are very close to the break point or the resistance on the RSI scale, which is at 87.99. Right now we are at 83. So I would expect a little bit of consolidation as it moves sideways. And if it breaks above this 845.15, even momentarily, we can say that the bearish bias will be gone. But now we still have the bearish bias hanging on over us. So that said, let's look at AMD, which is down 1.07%. And it has got a support today at 157.16. Right now it's at 157.81. If it comes down, then I would say we still have this target active for the double top. Next, SMCI is up 0.75% in pre-market trades. Support continues to be at 42.95 and resistance, I think, will be in the region of 46.89. Broadcom is down 0.22% in pre-market trades. Gap fill needs to happen. A support is imminent at 334.89. Palantir is up 0.55%. I bought Palantir yesterday as well. This diagonal line of resistance is going to offer a resistance today at around 168.63. Right now we're at 167.62. So that's the story with Palantir. SMH is up 0.33% in pre-market trades. And we have a resistance which is going to be somewhere around 302.23. Right now we are at 301.82. So if we break through above that, then I think we are all clear to go bullish. And this diagonal line of resistance will have to be extended for SMH. Tempest AI is something that I'm going to start looking at thanks to Hot Dog's feedback. And we look at this as a bull flag ready to go out. And I had earlier marked this target out here for 95.28. I'm continuing to maintain the target that we are moving towards that direction, a little bit of consolidation here and then a move up. That's what I'm looking at out there. The other thing that Hot Dog had mentioned was APLD. So let us look at APLD, which I think we already have on our chart somewhere out here. So APLD continues to move up. Good spotting. Hot Dog. I think this is starting to look good. We are above this diagonal line of resistance, which now becomes a line of support. So we are back into play. And our resistance for today, I think, is going to be around 17.56. So I'd like to look at APLD today. Market sentiment, which was bearish, is now turning over to bullishness. MACD is also turning around. Plenty of room on the RSI. So I'll check out APLD for my own portfolio today. And the other thing that Hot Dog was saying is CRVW. I think we'll also have this in our chart somewhere. CRVW. It's not here. So let me add that. CRVW. The second wave. Oh, this is not in because it's over the counter. CareView Communications. CRVW. Okay, let me see what it says. CRVW, CareView Communications, no pre-market trades. Of course, it's over the counter. No. Okay, there's a lot of consolidation out here. I'm not yet ready to opine on this, but if we were to look at the trend lines that we could draw, Um, I don't know. I'll have to think about this. I'll not like to waste the time on the live stream. So let us go on to have a look at the other companies that I'm tracking. Rigetti, it's up 0.43. It's in 16.26, still above the price at which I sold. So that's not something that I could get into. Wipro, I should have held on to it. But anyway, it's gone. And we have this diagonal line of resistance, which is going to do resistance today at 2.82. We are at 2.81 today. Next, go on to genomics. We had Prime, which had broken above this diagonal line of resistance. And yesterday it did drop, but it stayed above this diagonal line of resistance. But we want it to close above where it closed on the day that it broke out from this bull flag. And if it does that, then it would have confirmed this breakout. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Pre-market, we are down 1.80%. We are 3.82. And the support for today is 3.75. So I'm still optimistic that we are going to go trying to reach 7.25, which is the target of this bull flag. So let's see what happens when the market opens. Intelia is up 0.27%. Caribou Biosciences is up 1.12% in pre-market trades. And then we have Beam Therapeutics down 0.25% in pre-market trades. Support is available at 19.01. Altimmune continues to meander out here, consolidating, not going anywhere. But the market sentiment has improved and become bullish. MACD is still bullish. Momentum is still below average. So there is still a little bit of hope for Altimmune, because yesterday also it opened below and went up and closed as a green candle. So hopefully that happens again today. Editas is up 0.39%. It's still above this diagonal line of the parallel channel that we have, the upper limit of the parallel channel. So for today, the parallel channel says that we are going to get support at 2.48, and Illumina is going to be up 0.10% in pre-market trades. And we still have this neckline which has not been breached for the head and shoulder pattern. So we'll wait and watch to see if the support holds at 93.56 today. If it falls below that, then we have to project the target for this head and shoulder pattern. Next, we look at CRISPR Therapeutics, where CRISPR has got a head and shoulder pattern, and we are looking forward to reaching a target out there. But CRISPR is trying to consolidate a little bit. Today it's up 0.75% in pre-market trades. I think it's going to get resistance at 53.39. So I'm going to mark that as a resistance. And if I look at this head and shoulder pattern, it's already triggered. So since it's already triggered, let us see if we can come up with a target. So I'll take this as a target. And if we are broken down from here, I think we should go all the way up to 35.69 with a little bit of support at 47.10 and support at 46.32. So that's where we are likely to go with CRISPR Therapeutics. So I'm putting it out there. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, momentum is below average. So if that is what is going to happen for CRISPR, then if I had CRISPR, I'd put a covered call out there if I want to keep CRISPR for the long term and make some money out of the covered call. And personally, if I want to get into a position with CRISPR, I'll probably start dollar cost averaging somewhere around 46.97. So that's my thought process, not financial advice. Your feedback also is welcome out here. Allogene is up 0.90%. Grail is up 0.76%. PACB is up 0.82%. And we have got ARCG, which is up 0.56%. Vertex is down 0.03%. Vertex has got this double top out here now. And if this triggers off, I mean, if we fall maybe a few cents today, then it will get triggered. Then we'll have to just junk this bullish target that we had and look at a bearish target to go down. Market sentiment, which was bearish, has improved and become bullish. MACD is also tending towards the signal line to become positive. So there's a whole lot of mixed signals out there. Personally, I feel Vertex is a great company. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 3.01%. I incurred loss here. I was looking at a bull flag, bought it prematurely, had to sell it at a loss, close the chapter out there. Unicure is down 0.46% in pre-market trades. It's going to have support at 16.86 and resistance at 18.52. Then we have Precision, which continues to go down. I sold it at a profit. I made good profits with this, thanks to David Best. And I'm waiting to see as it approaches 3.64, which is going to be a logical bounce off point for it. Company is still pretty good. It's just that they have taken some funding, and we'll have to see how that funding works out. Then we have Lilly. Eli Lilly is down 0.02%. I've invested in this. It's positive now. And we have this regression channel, which I'm going to pull forward. You're going to get a support at 739.82 for Eli Lilly. And I'm thinking that the next resistance should be somewhere in the region of 773.90. I'm looking forward to Eli Lilly going up further. Pretty good company. Overall market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is above average. Plenty of room on the RSI for it to go up. So I say go Eli Lilly. And then I want to look at Rare. Again, I have invested in this. I was looking at this bullish pennant and I was thinking it should move out, but it did not do that. So I'm going to modify this. I'm going to look at this more like a bull flag. I'm going to look at it more like a bull flag. Let me increase this. It's a very anemic bull flag. And let me pull this down a little bit. So if it breaks out of this bull flag somewhere, let us say today, then we are looking at a target of 34.98. That will be the first step. It's a very gradual improve, and we also got this huge gap down, which needs to be filled up. So I'm very bullish on Rare, and hopefully this picks up. And as I mentioned, their manufacturing facility is there. You can look at the 2 or 3 unique Ultragenics videos that I have made. Ultragenics is doing pretty good in my opinion. I've got investments in there, so that's my personal opinion. Rocket is something that InFed bought up. So Rocket still has got a great target in my opinion to go all the way to 28.52. I don't know what business this company is in. I suspect it is mortgages, and lower interest means there will be a lot of refinancing and renewal. So I'm expecting that this drop is a good opportunity to buy. So I'll personally also look at adding some Rocket mortgage into my portfolio today. So that's what I think is happening out here. If you look at the market sentiment for Rocket, it's bullish. If you look at the MACD, it's also bullish. If you look at the RSI, it's got room to go. If you look at the momentum, it's above average. So I think I'll go in for Rocket mortgage. With the 2 interest rate cuts coming in, I think it's going to be looking pretty good going forward. So that's what I have for you guys, my friends. Let us go and have a look at crypto, because I think crypto might start shining. So let me go into currencies. And in currencies, let's look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is looking pretty good out here. So we had a bear channel coming down, and then we broke out of the bear channel. We had the first bull flag, and we put a target for the bull flag at 115.540, and we are marching in that direction. Right now, we are up 0.15% for today, and I'm looking for it to go to 115.499, and then probably create another flag pattern and then move up with a resistance at 120,065. That's the range at which I'm thinking it should go. The bearish sentiment is slowly becoming less and less and tending towards bullishness. MACD is already bullish. Momentum is above average. Plenty of room on the RSI. So IBIT is the way I would like to play it, or I might end up buying it on my crypto wallet and start having it there. So I've been attracted back into this. Let us look at XRP USD. So I got XRP, which I bought at around 4.2 Canadian dollars. So I'm very close to break even out there. In Canadian dollars, it's at 4.18. It has broken out of this pennant, and I have a target for it, for this bullish pennant, and the target is 4.64. So I'm staying put out there. This morning we are up 1.25%. So it's time for XRP to shine. It's got a use case also, which is very strong. So all said and done, I think XRP should do well. So that brings me to the end of today's session, my friends. If you guys have got any wisdom to share for me and the rest of the community, please do so in the comment section. And if you have any stocks that you want me to check out, I'll do that. Otherwise, we're done for the day. I'll go and have my breakfast. Just waiting a few minutes for your text. Okay, guys, then we are done for the day. Of late, I've started doing a shorts version also for the pre-market, where I give a very brief summary of what I'm going to talk about for the day. So you can check that out as well if you want. Okay, guys, bye.